into it properly. So I left the high school after 1 year, the Filmhochschule, and went to university. And first in Munich, I didn't like it at all because it was very, very, compared to my teacher in history of art at American University, it was very classical, a very classical view on art history. They would stay hours looking at one painting and analyzing the lines that cross the painting. You know what I mean? Classical history of art. Tübingen school and Munich school is terrible.
Right.
So I didn't like it and went to Bielefeld because Uli was my husband was the assistant of Jürgen Kocher, who had started this socio-historical view on everything. And I don't know, do you know Imdahl from Bochum?
I don't.
He is a very interesting art historian, and I considered working with him, but then for some reason, how life goes, Bourdieu would come and they needed a translator between French and German. Bourdieu didn't like the Dolmetscher, and it was a very, very small university. It was like an experimental department. We were like 30 students. It was really a huge chance. And I translated for Bourdieu from German to French and from French to German, and he liked me, and I got again a new scholarship because the AD was finished. It was linked to film, and I got a very beautiful scholarship from the German History Institute in Paris, and the Maison des Sciences de l'Homme, and they financed my PhD.
Oh, fantastic.
So I went to Paris and researched, as I told you, in Beirut for many years, several years, in all possible archives, from Louvre to Archives Municipales, National, etc. And wrote that PhD, and then, that's it.
So then you have the gallery in Hamburg, you meet Walid Rad.
Yes.
What got you to open, when did you open the gallery in Beirut?
So I started showing Walid, and very quickly I had like a booth at the Armory sponsored by the German government, because a group of galleries were sponsored by then by the German government, and had just had my first show with Walid with 100 Motors.
Oh yes, I remember that.
And I kicked my program of showing German artists at the Armory and brought only this work, which I showed at the Armory. Said to the money, no, I don't need the money, the support of the German. I just do it on my own and show this. And this was the start of everything.
So this is like
you bought the work.
Yes, it's like 2003.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember seeing that work and being completely bowled over.
And it was actually Phil and Shelley Aaron and you guys.
Yep.
And we got I got an interview with the New York Times, and and it started.
So that's 2003.
Yes.
And then Beirut opens when?
And then I go back to Beirut, as I always used to do. Peace failed to come back to the country, and I meet through Walid Akram Zaatari, Marwan Rishmawi, Rabi Amroué, all these guys. And at that time, Christine Tomi didn't have a space or any money. I support her homeworks in the fall of 2003, and I pay for the production of Walid then at Ashkal Alwan, and visit my friend Bernard Khouri, the architect. And he had just moved in the building you saw, and I liked the office a lot, and I liked the area. And it was in December 2004, and I go up with Bernard. He shows me the empty space on top of his office. He calls the owner. I go the next morning and sign the contract.
Wow.
It went like this.
That's incredible.
I would go with Akram Zaatari We have dinner together, we brainstorm, and he says, you have to do it. Don't hesitate. So I went the next day, signed the contract, and started it. And then end of January, they killed Hariri, the minister president. And I had like announced the opening in April 2005, because we had to remodel the space. And I had like the whole world wanted to come. It was incredible. But then they killed Hariri. I thought we proceed, no problem. But then they started putting these autobombs everywhere. And then I wrote an email to everybody who wanted to join. Curators from all over wanted to join. And I say, you're coming on your own risks, because it is risky. There is a curfew in Lebanon, but we are proceeding. We will open. And in spite of all of this, 70 people came with me for the opening. All of them curators and very major German collectors from Hamburg. All Hamburg, the most serious collectors of Germany are from Hamburg. It's the wealthiest city in Germany. Even if Cologne buys and the South buys, but the discreet long-term collectors like Liebelt or Zost or Falkenberg are from Hamburg. And almost all museum people I know in Germany joined. Udo Kittelmann cancelled last minute because a car bomb exploded like 2 days before we flew to Beirut. I was so frightened, Glenn, I can't even tell you of what would happen. And I had many curators also from England, from France, many. And on Thursday before the opening was planned for the Saturday, it was April 9, 2005. The show's title was Flight 405, because it was April 2005. And it was about actually human rights and the geo-socio linkings in the world. With people like Alfredo Jar, of course Walid was in it, Akram was in it, and Diller Scofidio, no, that is a further show. To be honest, I don't even remember who was in it. All of the artists I don't remember. I need to check and give you the list or send you the invitations in an envelope.
So when you opened in Beirut, were there other galleries of contemporary art?
None. There were marchands, but no galleries. So